Canister. There are no easy matchups player-wise in this tournament. Everyone is quite the magician. But so here we face Canister, and I'm pretty normally, besides Wombo, fair. So rude. Normally I'm not super happy to get paired against Canister. I think I have a very high opinion of how Canister plays Magic. Obviously, he's a very powerful wizard. However, in this situation, I do think that Canister is probably on Dredge, and I think the Dredge has got to be my single best matchup in the entire tournament. So I'm not super unhappy. Here my hand only has one piece of Dredge hate, so I'm gonna put it back. My game one hand only had one piece of Dredge hate, so I was like, yeah, we can do better. And then of course I find a main deck Leyline, Trinisphere, Sorcerer, Spyglass hand. And these matchups are these games are not super interesting because this matchup is incredibly lopsided. It's like it's insanely lopsided. So I start with Leyline. Obviously, Hollow One is the best card they can have here. They don't have a Hollow One. I'm going to lead on Trinisphere. That way, if my Trinisphere resolves, that means my Sorcerer Spyglass and my Leyline can't be Force of Vigored. So we just lead on Trinisphere. So now they're locked out of spells. They're even locked out of Hollow Ones. I actually think they probably just lost the game on the spot when this Trinisphere and Leyline are already in play. So here I just name Sorcerer. I just Sorcerer Spyglass. I name Bazaar of Baghdad. I might actually name, I think I just named Bazaar of Baghdad. And then, I don't know, this game just goes on for a little bit as I do things. I do draw a Golos, so I can just go Golos, Thespian stage, play, I'm pretty sure we just get, I know that Canister has a Strip Mine, so Canister can't actually stop this right now, but Canister can't play any more spells for the whole match. So they're just seeing more of my deck, basically. So that was game one. And game two runs a similar way, I'm pretty sure. Not, like I said, this matchup is not super interesting because I have like 11 main deck cards and I bring in like 5 more. It's quite absurd how much graveyard hate this deck has. So I keep this hand. I actually almost lose this game, I think. This game, I think, is quite close. I can't remember. But this hand has a Wasteland for their turn 1 Bazaar, a Bajuka Bog for their graveyard, and then a Spyglass to lock out other ones. Let's see what happens, though. I'm pretty sure this game got quite out of hand because I don't remember if it was a misplay on my part. I can't remember. It might have been a misplay on my part. Let's go take a look. So this hand this Bazaar activation has 2 Dredgers and a Bloodghast. And I immediately choose to Wasteland. I think immediately choosing to Wasteland is just always the correct play here. It makes it so they can't. Well, think about this. There are like other options here, right? I could go Ancient Tomb Spyglass. The problem with Ancient Tomb Spyglass is it's susceptible to Force of Will and Force of Vigor. I could go Bog and make them do another Bazaar activation, but then I'm a little worried about like Hollow One Wasteland. So I think it's always safest to just Wasteland their thing on the, and they don't even have like super good dredgers. They have like 1 dredge for 4, right? So I think that's fine. I'm okay with that line. Here's their dredge for 4. The dredge for 4 hits Prize Amalgam, which is a problem. The reason it's a problem is if opponent has a land in their hand, they're going to put 5 power into play. Between Bloodghast and Amalgam. And they do have a land in play. They have a Wasteland, which actually makes this game quite difficult. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil, and he appears. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the raid, Canister. Currently, we're going over a match of Magic versus someone named Canister. Maybe a doppelganger of some sorts. I don't know if you were qualified for this prestigious vintage event. Oh, we're not getting raided by Canister. It's Seito Kaiba. Okay, sorry. No. Seito Kaiba must have been streaming. I didn't see Canister streaming. That's fair. So yeah, for anyone coming from Seito Kaiba's stream, we're currently reviewing a match for a Magic player known as Canister. You might have heard of him. I don't know. But thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. Currently, we're going over yesterday's Mox qualifier. I know that later on in the week, Canister's going to be releasing his VODs on YouTube, so make sure you check that out. I'm going over this live so that I have replay. I didn't record any VODs during the matches, so I'm going over the replays of yesterday's matches. We're currently on round 4. We're 3-0 at this point, and then we get paired versus Canister. This is game 2. Game 1, I had like 7 pieces of Dredge hate in game 1, So here we're on turn 2. Turn 1, Canister went Bazaar, activate, put 2 Dredgers and a Blood Gas in the yard. I followed up with Wasteland, killing Bazaar of Baghdad. Dredge 4 reveals a prize amalgam, and Canister has Wasteland, which is really, really strong here. Putting 5 power into play for free and having Wasteland back up for something like Tabernacle is really, really good, and it's actually going to make this game pretty close, I think. So here, this comes into play, all this comes into play, and we go to my turn. I don't know what I choose to do. So what I need to do now is I need to get this Wasteland out of here, because I can't clear this board without having a Tabernacle in play. And if I play a Tabernacle and it gets Wastelanded, it ends up being a huge problem. So my question becomes, what did I do and was it right? I have a couple options here. I have Ancient Tomb on Spyglass, Spyglassing Wasteland. If I do that, I'm a little worried about getting Force of Willed and Force of Vigored. If opponent has a Force of Vigor in their hand but no green card, they can actually dredge this Shambling Shell to make a green card. So there's also like some merit to playing Bajuka Bog and Bajuka Bogging the Shambling Shell so that they don't have the ability to dredge into a green card. So I don't remember what I did here. I kind of think that I went Thespian Stage Grafdigger's Cage, but I might have gone Ancient Tomb Sorcerer's Spyglass. We'll have to see. So I have like 2 options when it comes to this Wasteland. One, I can Spyglass it. If I Spyglass it, obviously it's one of the things I said before. The second option is I can bait this Wasteland activation. I can play something that is like threatening, so that this Wasteland gets used on that instead of a Tabernacle. I don't remember what I did. Let's find out. I do go Thespian Stage Grafdigger's Cage. Now, I don't know why I did that. Why did I do that? I have no idea why I did that. I guess I wasn't comfortable playing Spyglass this turn. I'm not really sure why I did that. Oh, I know why I did that. Why did I do that? I think what I'm going to try to do is set up... Oh, okay, I know what I did that. I'm trying to figure out why. So what I'm going to try to do is go Thespian Stage, Ancient Tomb, and then Tabernacle. So what that does is if I play a Tabernacle and they try to Wasteland it, I can copy it with my Thespian Stage. The problem with that line, and there's a really big problem with that line, is that they can just not Wasteland it and just pay for their Amalgam every turn. Just pay for the Tabernacle. So I think I started on that line and then decided, wait a second, that doesn't work. So let's see what I actually do. So I have 4 turns to figure it out, because I'm obviously being attacked for 5. Let's see what I draw. I drew an Ancient Tomb. So I assume here it's just Ancient Tomb Spyglass. I have another option. And the other option here is if I go Ancient Tomb, if I go Thespian Stage, copy, using Ancient Tomb to copy Wasteland, and then on the next turn I could Wasteland, they Wasteland my Tomb, and then I play a Tabernacle. That's another possible line. There's like a lot of actual choices here because I just have so much different graveyard hate. The good part about this Spyglass is it gives me, it kind of forces them to use Wasteland if they don't have Vigor or Force of Will, right? So because I'm playing a Spyglass and they don't have an answer in their hand, they can just Wasteland my Ancient Tomb, which I am just perfectly fine with because I know that I'm following up with a Tabernacle on the next turn. I see that the hand has not much in it. So at this point, basically, Canister has to top deck a land. But actually dredges for 3, hitting some good cards, but I don't know why you would dredge there unless you're trying to hit... I'm not 100% sure why Canister would dredge there because I have a Grafdigger's Cage. Maybe trying to find like a Dakmor salvage or something. I'm not 100% sure. Chill. Okay. Chill. That makes sense. Dredge for 3 on chill. Interesting. Yeah. I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So this comes in for 5, puts me to 8. You still need a bunch of chills. I guess you don't have like the luxury of playing around things like Tabernacle anyways. So I have all the options here. You don't have very many options after the first like couple turns. So you're dredging for chill makes some sense to me. Trying to close this game out as fast as possible. Here I just deploy the Tabernacle because these things need to die. If they don't die, I'm in a lot of trouble. 1 chill? Yeah, 1 chill closes the clock by that's correct. 1 chill puts me to 5, attack for 5 and win. Yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense to me then. Yeah, you're choosing to try to reduce the clock, or attempt to reduce the clock by 1 turn and just lose to Tabernacle, which I think is perfectly reasonable. Makes perfect sense to me. I like it. So obviously I have a Tabernacle and they didn't hit a chill. Unmask takes that, but eventually like I bog them and then there's really just no coming back from this. I continue to do locking out things and the game ends. Yep, that makes perfect sense. Hit chill, reduce the clock by 1 and die Tabernacle makes, yep, sounds good. But yeah, as I said before, that matchup is like really favored for this deck. I have too much Dredge hate in this deck just because you're like you're main decking Leyline of the Voids, you're main decking 3 Spyglasses, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 sorry 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. You have 13 pieces of what people commonly would say is Dredge hate in your deck, and then all the spheres are very reasonable too as they turn off all of the Dredge players' spells. So you have like an absurd amount of like very good cards versus Dredge. So it's just like not a very good matchup for the Dredge pilot. So now we're 4-0. We are locked for top 8. And this match doesn't matter very much. It turns out that this match mattered a lot because